Air Force Base just south of Elliott and Ellsworth Road. The veterans say it's their way of showing concern for the MIAs. The camp's open to all veterans as a reunion and a way to express solidarity.
Valley is about to come to an end. KTAR's Dave Hampton has been out there today and has this report on Firebase Phoenix.
Things are winding down now at the encampment just east of Mesa. Those gathered are now ready for a concert that could last into the early evening hours. The three-day get-together of veterans is ending on an especially happy note for its founder, Don Liston. His brother, who he's not seen for some years, saw an interview with Don last night on television. He called the TV station to find out where the encampment's being held. He's gone out there for a reunion. After years of being apart, brothers are back together again. That's really the theme of the entire camp. Dave Hampton, KTAR News. The 200 or so veterans, part of Firebase Phoenix, are listening to a concert now as the three-day event winds down. The camp was organized to call attention to American soldiers still missing in action in Southeast Asia and to promote closeness between veterans, especially veterans of the Vietnam War. There were some emotional reunions at the campsite just east of Mesa. One man met his former platoon sergeant there. The last time he saw him was 16 years ago in the jungles of Vietnam when he put him on a medevac helicopter. Organizers say they do plan to make it a yearly event. Good evening. It's 6:05 on the 620 Sports Line with Greg Schulte. I'm Dave Hampton, KTAR News. Firebase Phoenix, a weekend encampment and get-together of Vietnam veterans, is history now. Organizers say they came up with the idea of camping just east of Phoenix as a way of promoting brotherhood between all veterans and to honor Americans still missing in action in Southeast Asia. One of the 200 or so veterans who took part in the camp, former combat helicopter pilot John Wolcott of Phoenix, says it's been a great experience.
I've seen a couple of reunions. One fellow who bumped into a guy that he hasn't seen in 16 years since he put him on a slick with wounds, and that happens to be a counselor down at the vet center. That's how close to home this has been able to hit.
Organizers of the event say they plan on making it a yearly get-together, hoping to eventually attract thousands of the estimated 100,000 Vietnam veterans here in the valley. Memories of the Vietnam War came back to some 200 veterans who were camped out this weekend just east of Mesa in a desert field they named Firebase Phoenix. Organizers say they set up the campsite to salute veterans, especially those from the Vietnam War, and to remind people there are still Americans listed as missing in Southeast Asia. The weekend saw some pretty remarkable reunions. One man met his former platoon sergeant, a man he'd not seen for roughly 16 years, when he put him on a medevac helicopter. And for co-organizer Don Liston, there was also a surprise. His brother, who he's not seen for a number of years, saw Don on a television interview last night. Today he went out to the camp for a private get-together with his brother. Organizers say they hope to make it a yearly event, a suggestion that meets with the approval of veteran John Wolcott of Phoenix.
I think it's great. The turnout here has been good. We had hoped for more, certainly, but the PR didn't get out until a little bit late. And we're also at the far end of the world. But the people that have come out here have all had a good time. We're enthusiastic. Next year, we can have a ton of folks out here.
There are an estimated 100,000 Vietnam veterans here in the valley alone. The gathering of some 200 veterans closed with the sounds of guitars played by two of their own in a concert of songs about the war and about coping with life after the war. One of the organizers, Alan Balker, says they plan on making such gatherings annual events here in the valley so Vietnam veterans can show their solidarity. He says although they wanted more people to take part in this weekend's camp, it was well worth it.
The people that were here, the feelings that they had was something they hadn't had prior to this. Some people weren't able to talk, we were able to talk freely. The reunions that we saw, people who hadn't seen each other since Vietnam, didn't know about each other, didn't know they were alive. And to see each other here again was beyond anything you can put in words.
So look for a repeat on a larger scale in about a year as organizers prepare for Firebase Phoenix 1986. Dave Hampton, KTAR News. Many of the 200 or so veterans who gathered in the desert campsite strongly backed the decision to try it again next year. One of those, 11th Armored Cav veteran John Reiterman of Glendale, says he hopes more veterans will take part.
Because our job isn't finished yet. All of our people, all of our brothers aren't back from Vietnam. And I just think we should all pull together and do what we can to get them back.
Organizers Don Liston and Alan Bowker figure they put about $16,000 of their own money into the event, but they say it was worth it to promote the cause of veterans and those service members still missing in action in Southeast Asia. In fact, Bowker extends this invitation to veterans.
Next year, I want to see you here. Be a part of us. It's from us to you.
Dave Hampton, KTAR News.
One night this fellow at the bar started talking about the war.
Veterans from several states have gathered in a desert field across from the General Motors Proving Grounds on Ellsworth Road, not far from Williams Air Force Base. They've been listening to music written by fellow Vietnam veterans about the war years and about friends left behind. The purpose of the encampment is to honor veterans of America's wars, but especially it's meant to be a salute to Vietnam veterans. Former Green Beret Don Liston of Mesa is the organizer of Firebase Phoenix. Don, are we going to see this become a yearly event now?
I am considering it. Right now, I'm working this one here. I'm taking it day by day on this one here and see what does develop, see what kind of a representative and crowd we do get, and I will consider it for next year, yes.
The gathering continues throughout the day, ending this evening, and Liston says any veteran interested in showing support should come on out. Dave Hampton, KTAR News. The small stage out here in the desert near Williams Air Force Base is surrounded by 40 American flags, each with a candle in the name of an American serviceman still listed as missing in action 12 years after America's longest conflict officially ended. But for many of these veterans who have gathered to listen to music written about the war years, their conflict continues. Things are getting better, though. Gatherings such as this one on Ellsworth Road across from the General Motors Proving Grounds helps get over the pain, the hurt at being rejected by a country that sent them off to war. It's been 2 nights of talking, brotherhood, sharing a common experience with fellow veterans, both men and women, listening to music and to each other. And it continues all day today. Organizer Don Liston wants Vietnam veterans to come on out.
Have a good time, enjoy yourself, and come and meet other people that you haven't seen for years.
Liston says that right now it's too early to say, but he's considering making the camp out a yearly event. Dave Hampton, KTAR News.